Why are we so obsessed with looking toward the heavens, when the earth beneath our feet has been screaming for us to look down for thousands of years? My name is Elias Thorne, and for 22 years, I've served as a lead search and rescue coordinator. I've pulled lost children from ravines and mapped caves that don't appear on any government survey. I thought I knew the limits of this land. I was wrong. The mountain doesn't just hide things, it buries them. It started with a missing graduate student, a kid named Julian who thought he was smarter than the terrain. When we found his campsite, his boots were still neatly tied by the fire pit. My team tracked him for 3 days, heading deeper into the high ridges. The trees stop growing straight here, and the air turns metallic. On the 4th morning, we found the depression. It was a perfect circular pit, nearly 30 feet across, lined with stones so smoothly polished they looked like obsidian. As I studied the footage back at base camp, I realized the repetition of the imagery.
Every single panel depicted a humanoid figure hunched over, hands pressed firmly against the soil, refusing to look up.
I knelt down, brushing the earth away, and my hands hit something hard. It was a digital recorder, crushed under the pressure of the shifting soil. I spent the next month in a haze of fear, watching the clouds with a terror that made my skin crawl. I saw things in the peripheral of my vision, shadows that didn't belong to trees. The final straw came when I saw the birds. They didn't fly, they fell. Thousands of them, dropping from the canopy. Their necks snapped, their eyes turned toward the ground. I returned to the clearing a week later, hoping for answers. But the pit was gone, replaced by these strange, scorched ferns. My hands hit something hard, buried in the dirt. It was a digital recorder, crushed under the weight of the soil. I pried the casing open and hooked the card to my laptop. I just needed to know if Julian was still down there. The audio was just static for 20 minutes.
Then I heard Julian's voice, whispering like he was hiding in a closet.
He said the sky wasn't a ceiling anymore. It was a hungry mouth. By finding it, we'd loosened the knot. I spent the next month in a haze of fear. I started seeing things in the peripheral of my vision, shadows that didn't belong to trees. My crew started acting strange, too. Sarah was sitting in her basement, her eyes fixed on the concrete floor. I realized then that the betrayal wasn't from the government. It was our own hubris. The final straw came when I saw the birds. They didn't fly. They fell. I packed my gear and didn't say goodbye. I moved to a place where the trees are so thick they blot out the horizon. I found a place where the trees are so thick they blot out the horizon. I spent my first night boarding up every window.
I just need to stay beneath the cover of the canopy.
I don't trust my compass anymore. I just stare at the floorboards to keep my mind from wandering. This isolation is heavy, but it feels safer than the world I left. The wind used to be comforting. Now, every sound from outside feels like a threat. I check the barricades again, just to be sure. I keep thinking about those figures in the pit. They were hunched over, just like me. I'm not really living anymore. I'm just hiding. Did you hear that? It's that same metallic pulse from the pit. It's like the earth itself is having a heartbeat. I shouldn't look, I know that. but the light outside is pulsing, just like the sound.
It's like the forest is trying to show me something.
The sound just stopped. It's so quiet now. It's almost deafening. The earth is trying so hard to hold it all down.
I have to listen to the recording again. There's something in his voice I missed the first time.
He was right. We're the ones who opened the door. I spent my whole life looking for answers. I never thought about what happens when you find them. I'm done looking. I'm just gonna watch the ground. I just lie here and watch the floor. I don't look up no matter what. I just hope the ground keeps holding. I woke up in the middle of the night, my body completely frozen. There was this low, rhythmic hum vibrating right through the floorboards. I didn't dare look up, just kept my eyes glued to the wood. I crawled off the cot, moving like I was walking on eggshells. My fingers brushed against my compass, but I didn't even bother to look at it. I already knew where the danger was, and it wasn't on any map I'd ever drawn. I crept over to the door, my hand shaking as it hovered over the bolt.
The forest outside sounded all wrong, like a tape playing at the wrong speed.
I took a deep breath, trying to steady myself for whatever was waiting out there. I cracked the door open just a hair, just enough to peek out. The trees were swaying, but there wasn't a lick of wind out there. My ears started popping, like I was diving deep into a pressurized cave. I slammed that door shut and bolted it, my heart pounding out of my chest. I knew I couldn't stay here, but where the hell was I supposed to go? The cabin was all I had, and even that felt like it was failing me. I looked over at my laptop, still glowing with that static-filled footage. I realized that data was nothing but a curse, a record of something that shouldn't exist. My hand was shaking as I reached for the power cable to pull the plug for good. The screen finally went black, and the whole room just plunged into darkness. I sat there in the silence, my breathing finally starting to slow down. It felt like a huge weight was lifting off my shoulders, just letting it all go. I laid back on the cot and just closed my eyes. I stopped thinking about the sky, the pit, or those poor birds. I just listened to my own heart beating. A steady rhythm that told me I was still here. Outside, the forest started to change, the trees leaning in like they were closing ranks. Their branches locked together, forming a solid roof over the cabin. The silence didn't feel heavy anymore. It felt like a shield keeping me safe. I drifted off to sleep, praying that the ground would just keep holding. I wasn't an explorer anymore, and I wasn't looking for any more answers. I was just a man in the dark, hoping the world would finally forget I ever looked up.
I woke up to a sound that shouldn't be out here.
It was this rhythmic, metallic scraping against the cabin wall, like something massive was dragging its claws right above me. I didn't move a muscle. I just kept my eyes locked on the floorboards. The scraping stopped, but the silence that followed was even worse. I reached for my jacket, moving as slow as I could. I had to check the perimeter, but I couldn't risk looking up. I kept my chin tucked to my chest, just like I was taught. The door groaned when I pushed it open. The air outside felt heavy and smelled like ozone. I stepped onto the porch and scanned the ground for anything weird. I found these deep gouges in the porch railing. It looked like something had gripped it with way too much force. These marks weren't from any animal I've ever seen. I felt like something was watching me from the trees. I didn't look up, but I could feel it staring down at me. I started backing toward the door, real slow. I got inside and slammed the door shut.
My hands were shaking so bad I could barely slide the bolt.
I'm safe for now, but I know it's not gonna last. I walked over to my desk and picked up that old recorder. I stared at it, wondering if I should just smash it. The silence in here is just waiting for me to do something. I hit play, and a burst of static filled the room. Then I heard Julian's voice, all distorted and quiet. I closed my eyes and just listened to his warning. The recording ended, and the room went dead silent again. I sat there in the dark, finally realizing there's no way out. I'm just waiting for the sky to look back at me. I knew I couldn't stay here anymore. Every shadow in this place felt like it was watching me. It was time to find somewhere the trees were thick enough to hide me. The woods were dead silent. Not a single bird chirped. It was like the whole forest was holding its breath, just like me. Then I saw them. The birds didn't fly. They just fell. They were trying to hide from the sky, just like I was. I didn't look back. I just kept walking, trying to stay under the thickest trees I could find. Every little sound made my skin crawl. Finally, a place where the trees were thick enough. I could finally stop looking over my shoulder.
I just needed to stay here under the cover.
I'm leaving this here for anyone who finds it. Don't go looking for the anomalies. Don't trust the horizon. Some things are meant to stay lost. I'm burying this so it doesn't lead anyone else to the pit. I hope the ground keeps holding. I'm done with the search. I'm done with the naps. From now on, I'm just another shadow in these woods.
The forest keeps its secrets well.
It's been waiting for 4,000 years.
And it's not done waiting yet.
Why are we so obsessed with looking toward the heavens, when the earth beneath our feet has been screaming for us to look down for thousands of years? Just keep your head down. The forest floor holds its breath. Everything here is buried for a reason. We just keep digging up things that should stay lost. The trees themselves seem to be changing.
They aren't just wood and sap anymore.
It's like the land is trying to warn us. I've spent my whole life walking these woods. But now, every step feels like a mistake. I just keep my head down and keep moving. You start seeing things in the corners of your eyes.
Shadows that don't belong to the trees.
It's like the air itself is watching you. I don't even recognize myself anymore. The man I was is gone. There's only this fear left. The wind is screaming, but the trees don't care. They're just holding on for dear life. We're all just waiting for the sky to fall. Another one who thought they were smarter than the mountain. They never learn, do they? The mountain always wins in the end. I used to collect things like this. Souvenirs from the places I'd been. Now I just want to forget everything I've seen. The night is the worst part.
That's when the sky feels closest.
I gotta find cover before it gets too dark.
Just keep your head down.
Don't look up. Just pray the ground keeps holding. I woke up in the dark again. The silence out here is just heavy. Every step I take feels like a gamble. I keep my eyes glued to the dirt. I stick to the thickets where the trees are densest.
It's like the forest is trying to keep me hidden.
Did you hear that?
It's that same pulse again. It's not just a sound. The ground is literally vibrating.
Everything just stopped.
Even the wind is afraid to move.
I gotta get out of here. Just keep moving. Don't look up. My legs, they feel like lead. I can't get up. Just keep humming, Elias. Don't listen to the ground.
It stopped.
Now it's just waiting. I'm just sitting there, frozen in place.
The forest feels like it's watching me, waiting for me to slip up.
My hands shaking, reaching for my compass.
But I don't pull it out. I just keep it hidden.
I gotta move, but I'm taking it real slow. Every step is a risk, so I'm just feeling my way through the woods. I see those weird violet ferns again. I don't stop. I just keep walking. The trees are getting weirder, all twisted up. It's getting cold, like really cold. I found a clearing, but it's not the right one. There's this weird gray dust everywhere, and it just feels wrong.
I'm kneeling down, and I can feel it again.
The ground is pulsing, like it's trying to tell me something. Wait, it's not the ground. I looked up, and the sky, it's all wrong. I shouldn't have looked. I gotta get back into the trees. Now. I'm safe for now, I guess.
But I know what's up there, and it's watching me.
I'm just sitting here, trying to keep my head down. The woods feel like they're waiting for me to slip up. I keep my hand in my pocket, just touching my compass. I don't dare pull it out, not when everything feels this wrong. I gotta move, but I'm doing it slow. Every step is a risk, so I keep my eyes on the dirt. I see those weird violet ferns again. I don't stop, I just keep walking. The trees are getting weirder, all twisted up. It's freezing out here, even for the mountains. This clearing, it's not right.
There's this gray dust everywhere, just eating the light.
I can feel it vibrating through the ground. It's like the earth itself is beating. Wait, it's not the ground.
The sky, it's moving like a mirror.
I can't look. I can't look. Get back. Just get back into the trees.
It's watching me. I know it is.
I just gotta stay down, keep my head low. I couldn't move.
The silence was so heavy, it felt like it was crushing my lungs.
I just kept my eyes on the dirt, praying it would stay solid. My hand found my compass in my pocket.
I didn't dare pull it out.
Just feeling the metal was enough to keep me grounded. I had to move. Every step felt like I was walking on eggshells. I kept my head down, just feeling the ground beneath my boots. I saw those strange glowing ferns again. They were shimmering with this weird violet light. I didn't even look twice. I just kept walking. The trees started getting really weird. They were all twisted up like fingers. Then the air just turned ice cold. I found a clearing, but it wasn't the right one. The ground was covered in this weird gray dust. I knew I should have turned back, but I couldn't. I knelt down in the middle of it.
I didn't touch the dust, but I could feel it.
There was this pulse coming from the ground, and it was getting stronger. I pulled my hands back fast. It wasn't the ground, it was the air. I looked up for a second, and the sky looked like a broken mirror. I shut my eyes tight. My heart was going a mile a minute. I just had to get back into the shadows. I finally made it back to the trees. I just curled up and stayed there. I know now that the sky is watching us.
I just sat there, trying to keep my head down.
The silence was so heavy, it felt like it was crushing me. I reached for my compass, but I didn't dare pull it out. I just needed to feel something real, something that hadn't changed. I had to move, but I did it slow.
Every step felt like a gamble, like I was walking on eggshells.
I saw those violet ferns again, glowing in the dark. I didn't stop. I just kept my eyes on the dirt. The trees started looking like twisted fingers. The air got cold, like a draft from a tomb.
I found a clearing, but it wasn't the one I wanted.
The ground was covered in this weird gray dust. I knelt down, and I could feel it. The ground was pulsing, like a heartbeat right under my palms. It wasn't the ground. It was the air.
I made the mistake of looking up, and I saw it.
I shut my eyes tight and scrambled back. I had to get back into the shadows, away from that thing. I collapsed against a tree, just trying to breathe. I know now, the sky isn't a ceiling. It's a trap. I couldn't move. The forest felt like it was closing in on me. I just kept my eyes on the dirt. I had to know if I was losing. I pulled out the recorder I found in the dirt. The audio was just static at first. It sounded like the forest itself was screaming. Then I heard Julian's voice. He said the sky wasn't a ceiling anymore.
He said it was a hungry mouth.
We had loosened the knot. We thought we were explorers, but we were just caretakers of a cage. I thought about Sarah. She wouldn't even look up anymore. She knew the sky was getting closer. Then I heard the birds started falling. They were trying to hide from the sky. I didn't wait to see what happened next. I just ran. I had to stay under the trees. I found a place where the trees were thick enough. I knew I could never go back. Don't look for the stars. Just keep your head down. And pray that the ground keeps holding. I'm sitting here in the dirt, just trying to keep my head down. The silence in these woods is so heavy. It's like it's pressing against my chest. I used to rely on this compass for everything. Now it's just a piece of metal that reminds me of a world I can't trust anymore. Did you hear that? Every little sound out here makes my skin crawl. I'm always waiting for something to jump out from the shadows. I can still feel that hum in my bones. It wasn't just a pit. It was a warning. Those stones were trying to tell us something we weren't ready to hear. The ground is the only thing that's honest. It's cold, it's solid, and it's the only place I feel safe. I wonder if there's anyone else out there who knows. We're all just hiding in the shadows, waiting for the inevitable. I can't stay here forever, but I can't bring myself to leave. Every step I take feels like a risk. I try to remember how things used to be, but it's like those memories are being erased, one by one. Look at this moss. It doesn't know anything about the sky or the pit. It just grows, completely oblivious to the end of the world. I have to keep moving. As long as I stay under the trees, I'm safe. I just hope the ground keeps holding. I keep moving, but the woods feel heavier every single day. Every step is a gamble, and I'm just trying to stay beneath the canopy. The ferns are turning that same sickly color again. It's spreading, and I don't think there's any way to stop it. I need to hear it one more time. I need to know I'm not just imagining all of this. Julian's voice is still there, trapped in the static.
He said the sky was waiting, and now I know he was right.
I have to stay quiet. If I move too fast, they'll know I'm here. Something just moved over the trees.
It didn't look like anything I've ever seen before. It's getting closer. I can feel the weight of it pressing down on everything. Sarah knew. She was trying to tell me, and I just wouldn't listen.
I have to keep moving.
As long as I'm under the trees, I might have a chance.
Don't look up.
Just keep your head down and pray that the ground keeps holding.